The 2017 Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada season is finally here. And we're in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia for the Freedom 55 Financial Open, where hopes are high.
I want to get back to where I was last year and compete and win.
And the resolve to take that next step is palpable.
I love this tour, but I'm ready to grab one of those jerseys and move on.
You want to see your name on the leaderboard, you want to feel the pressure. It's what drives you.
And while the competition heats up on the course, it's what's happening outside the ropes that's making the biggest impact.
This is a little bit special for sure on the golf course. It's a fun event.
It's the first week of the 2017 season. Next on This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. The 2017 edition of the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada has begun, and the anticipation of a new season of competition is in the air.
Really excited to get the season going, looking forward to the year. Nice to be back playing, you know, to be at the first event and have 3 weeks in a row.
It's always good to come back and start the tournament in our home province. I'm really excited to get this one going.
The season kicks off in the beautiful city of Vancouver, before heading to Victoria and Kelowna in what's now dubbed the BC Swing.
The first 3 events are great. The BC Swing's super nice places, great golf courses, and really well-run events. Vancouver and Victoria, I think, are 2 of my favorite events of the year. You know, because first of all, it is the start of the year, so everyone's excited, and usually they're in the best shape.
And once again, the Freedom 55 Financial Open marks the beginning of a new year.
Great partnership. Very fortunate to have them on as a partner. Just a great group of people, very supportive to Canadian golfers and Canadian athletes in general. It's really a privilege to be part of the team.
We're delighted to see the success of this tournament, the growth of this tournament. Freedom 55 is grateful to be able to bookend from the Open and the Championship in London, Ontario. It's always great when you're part of something that ultimately ends up being very special.
Although it's a relatively short course at just over 6,800 yards, the par 72 Point Grey Golf and Country Club always plays tough.
It's pretty classic Pacific Northwest golf. You know, you got big tree-lined fairways, you got to hit the ball in play. There'll be a lot of pitching out if you don't. You got some small, well-bunkered greens, and just like today, a little rain.
It's a good golf course. It's right in front of your face, no gimmicks. You got to hit good shots, you got to be in control of your ball. And there's a couple holes that you got to take advantage of. The par 5s are all reachable. That's an area where if you're going to shoot however many under you need to be in contention, you got to attack those spots.
Being at sea level, Point Grey presents a unique challenge.
This is pretty much ground zero for how far the ball goes. You know, it's heavy, wet air for the most part. Ball doesn't go very far.
Kind of a mental hurdle that, you know, it's pretty hard to hit at 320. I think the guys will adjust, though. A couple rounds, you'll get used to it.
Adam Cornelsen is steady on day 1 of the Freedom 55 Financial Open. With 2 birdies and a bogey on his opening round scorecard, he posts a 1 under 71 and settles into a tie for 48th. But a pair of 9 under 63s lead the way. Zimbabwe's Scott Vincent, a 25-year-old Virginia Tech alum, opens and closes with eagles. And he picks up 6 birdies in between to shoot his career best round in just his 2nd season on the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada.
I started great, finished great. Just hit the ball really well in general and made a few nice putts that kind of kept the round going and kept the birdies coming as well. So just all in all was just really solid out there.
Just like Vincent, the United States' TJ Vogel capitalizes with a hot start, posting 2 birdies in his first 3 holes. He closes with 4 birdies and an eagle on the backside for a bogey-free, career-low 63 for a share of the lead. Coming up next on This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada.
That's how come I play my best golf, and usually when I play my best, I'm in a good spot.
With the 2017 season comes familiar goals and high expectations. And then, hockey and golf collide in the name of charity.
It's always a nice occasion when we can do something to help out a charity like Canucks for Kids.
But first, we continue with second round action from the Freedom 55 Financial Open, when This Is returns. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. Dan McCarthy's victory at the 2016 Freedom 55 Financial Open sparked an unprecedented and historic run. He went on to win 3 more times, setting the record for the most victories in a season on the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. He also proved that a good start can make all the difference in a compressed season of 12 events.
We saw last year, with Dan, how hot of a start he got off to, and it was a pretty amazing stretch of golf that he kept going all season long. It's very important. If you break it down, it's 25% of the year, right? 12 events. You have a couple good starts early in the year, maybe a win, maybe a top 5 in there, you almost already are on your way to getting your status for web.com. But even if you put yourself in a position to where you're kind of in the top 10, it kind of makes those goals really attainable.
I think it takes off a lot of pressure, getting off to a really good start. I like to boil it down to the simplest form of things, which is just play one shot at a time. But I think if I can do that for 12 events, I'll have a really good chance of getting into the top 5 at the end of the year.
For those teeing it up this year on the Mackenzie Tour, the goal is clear. Finish in the top 5 on the order of merit at the end of the season for the opportunity to move up to the web.com tour. And for those who've already tasted competition at the next level, the hunger to get back increases with each tournament.
That was a big learning experience for me. You got to have that confidence for sure, but it's also kind of results-based. To get that confidence, they kind of work together. To get back to the web.com, I need to have a really good year up here. Just got to be solid all the time. Consistency out here is what's going to get it done.
If you take the guys who are playing out here and the guys who are playing on the web.com and put them on the same golf course, the scores would be very similar. Everybody hits it good. It's all about, I think, chipping and putting and inside 100 yards. So I've focused on, getting my wedges better this year and driving it a little better, and then obviously putting. But, I've learned a lot from watching those guys and playing with those guys out there, and it's not a big difference, but it's just the little things.
It's all part of the learning curve, learning process. We all have our own way of doing it. So, I learned a lot in those 4 or 5 events, and I want to prove that I can play out there.
It's the drive to move on that motivates players like Cornelson to compete at the highest level.
I'm going to keep my goals in check, get back to what I do well, and just stick to my game plan. And, I know if I do the right things, good things will happen, so that's what I'm going to focus on.
I just want to come out here and play my best golf, and usually when I play my best, I'm in a good spot to have a chance to win. So I learned a lot last year, experience-wise. I kind of had every kind of scenario you could imagine last year, so that'll be good to have in the back of my mind coming into this year.
It is definitely a grind. The whole year is a grind, but when it comes down to the last few tournaments and you're close, obviously any stage of Q school you can skip is huge. So finishing in the top 20 and then in the top 10 and in the top 5 ultimately is a huge accomplishment, and that's what you're striving for.
But winning on the Mackenzie Tour is no easy task.
The fields are very deep. Anyone who tees it up has a great chance to win. There's course record shot every week, everywhere we go, and what Dan McCarthy was able to do last year and win by numerous amounts as well. There's phenomenal caliber of play out here, and but it's what you want, because you're going to get that up at the web.com tour level, and you're definitely going to get that on the PGA Tour. So it's great to see that it's now on the Mackenzie Tour.
Whenever you get the opportunity to have a start, you just got to go and make the most of it and try to play well. It doesn't matter what tour you're playing on, just have a good 4 days.
You can't have any excuses. You got to play well, and that's what everyone's practiced for throughout the winter months, or played all the tournaments they have, is they're looking to peak right now.
First round co-leader Scott Vincent drops a stroke in his opening 9 in round 2 of the Freedom 55 Financial Open, falling 3 back of TJ Vogel at the turn.
The course was a little wet, maybe a little nerves, just not quite the same as yesterday.
Vincent rebounds with 3 birdies down the stretch and finishes with a 1 under 71 and solo second.
Hit a lot of good shots today as well, so still very encouraged with how I'm playing, how the course is setting up. right in the mix, so that's always exciting. I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Playing in the same soggy conditions, Vogel manages to gain a stroke on his front side, posting 2 birdies to just 1 bogey.
It was cooler this morning than yesterday afternoon, so the ball just wasn't traveling as far, and it was tougher to get your distances, I feel like. Even the greens, when they were wet, were a little slower, so it was definitely a little different.
The University of Florida grad closes with 2 more birdies down the stretch to finish with a 2-under par 70 and a 1-stroke lead.
When you shoot a 9-under in the first round, your expectations are a little higher, and yeah, I would never really be upset with a 2-under walking off. Not going to change anything. I feel like I'm playing well, so I just need to get back to the basics.
University of Georgia alum Lee McCoy and Oklahoma State All-American Jordan Nebrugi sit 2 off the pace in a tie for 3rd, while BC's own Adam Cornelsen fails to make the cut with a 2-over 73 on day 2. After the break, it's the weekend at the Freedom 55 Financial Open.
These kids raised some money. Like, they did a great job.
Which means it's time for making a difference inside and outside the ropes.
Our company is very focused on giving back to the communities that we work out of. This is an amazing event. It goes way beyond the golf.
The Freedom 55 Financial Charity Walk and the Canucks for Kids hockey match is up next. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. The weekend at the Freedom 55 Financial Open signals the ramp-up of competition and fun. But it also indicates that it's time to continue the tradition of giving back. And for the 2nd year in a row, the Canucks for Kids Fund is the primary beneficiary of the Freedom 55 Financial Open.
The Canucks for Kids Fund is a granting organization, and we raise money throughout the year to support a variety of different not-for-profit charities that serve children in BC. We support education, health and wellness, and grassroots hockey initiatives. So we have 3 core beneficiaries, which are the Canucks Autism Network, Canuck Place Children's Hospice, and BC Children's Hospital.
This year, Vancouver Canucks forwards Daniel and Hedrick Sedin stepped off the ice to coach the Canucks for Kids Charity Ball Hockey Classic, where 6 lucky and hard-working kids were rewarded with a game of street hockey for raising money for the foundation.
This is a little bit special for sure on the golf course. It's a fun event, and we look forward to maybe watch on golf too. Nice pass. I think it starts with the Canucks. They set the standard for us and for our teammates. The community really appreciates us for being up and helping out, and that means a lot to us. Oh, breakaway! Oh! It's great. Having kids that age as well, you know how much hockey means for their friends and themselves, so it's fun to be able to go out and meet them and spend time with them.
Passes. Lots of passes, guys.
There you go. Oh. Nice pass.
These kids raised some money. Like, they did a great job. It's so much fun to see kids that are philanthropic and they understand and they want to give back to their community, and to be able to give them this experience as a reward is awesome.
The weekend in Vancouver is also a time for fans to stretch their legs for a good cause, walking to raise money for the Canucks for Kids Foundation. And during the 2nd annual Freedom 55 Financial Open Charity Walk, they did just that, led by former Vancouver Canuck Kirk McLean and his pal Finn.
It's always a nice occasion when we can do something to help out a charity like Canuck for Kids. It's the least we can do. Listen, you know, people were great to us when we played, and of course, anytime we can help raise some funds for the need, like Canuck for Kids, you know, Canuck Place, whatever the cause may be, you know, it's important, and goes a long way and dear to our hearts.
The walk raised $30,000 for the foundation.
This tournament allows Freedom 55 Financial to participate in something special that happens in the city of Vancouver. Our corporate philosophy is to give back in the communities where we do business. And this is an amazing event. We raised a lot of money for the Canucks for Kids. It was a very special event. It goes way beyond the golf.
Our relationship has been amazing. This is our 2nd year as the beneficiary, and when PGA Tour reached out to us. We were thrilled. We had no idea how philanthropic they are in each community where there's a tournament, and to be chosen as the beneficiary was a huge opportunity for us, and it's really enabled us to make an even bigger difference each year when we do our granting, because it really helps our bottom line, and it's been an excellent partnership. We're very, very grateful for all the support.
It's moving day at the Freedom 55 Financial Open, and Tampa, Florida's Lee McCoy makes the most of his opportunity. The former NCAA All-American from the University of Georgia jumps up the leaderboard with 4 birdies on the front side.
It's always nice when the leaders come back to you a little bit. Obviously, that's something that's totally out of my control, and it was a nice little surprise as I was starting to see the scoreboards late in the round.
While McCoy surges, 36-hole leader TJ Vogel struggles, finishing with a 3-over par 75 and in a tie for 9th place. However, Vogel's playing partner Scott Vincent is steady. After losing a stroke on the front 9, he rebounds with birdies at 17 and 18 to post a 1 under 71 for the day, just 3 off the lead.
Still in a great position to have a shot at this title, which would be a great way to start the year. Today I felt like I hit it great. I just put myself in good spots and just couldn't make a putt. Until the last 2 holes I got two to go in, so it's a nice way to end and hopefully build off that and go for it tomorrow.
Vincent plays his way into the final pairing with Lee McCoy, who also closes with a pair of birdies for a 5 under 67 and a 3-stroke advantage.
It is nice to have a little bit of a cushion, but I know my game is there, and I'm not worrying about anything going to bed tonight. I know I'm going to wake up tomorrow and my pocket stroke's going to be there and my ball striking is going to be fine, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. It's been a while since I've been in the hunt.
Jake Knapp and Jordan Niebruegge also play their way into the hunt. Knapp fires off 6 birdies on the back 9 for a 4 under 68, while Niebruegge joins him in a tie for 3rd after posting a solid 1 under 71. Coming up next on This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada.
The first thing I get asked about a lot is the S logo down here on the front of my bag, and that's for Sacramento State University, which is where I went to school, and I wear that logo with a lot of pride.
Second-year Mackenzie Tour player Jake Johnson shows us what's in his bag. And then, will Lee McCoy hold on to his lead, or will a challenger rise up in the final round of the Freedom 55 Financial Open? Find out when we return. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada.
Hi, my name is Jake Johnson, and I'm going to be walking you through what I have in my bag. The first thing I get asked about a lot is the S logo down here on the front of my bag, and that's for Sacramento State University, which is where I went to school, and I wear that logo with a lot of pride. Another thing that I get asked about is the blue ribbon that I got on here. The blue ribbon is for colon cancer, and my swing coach, who I've been with since high school, his mom unfortunately passed away from colon cancer a few months ago. So it's really special to have that on my bag to kind of support him, because he's done a lot for me over the years, to kind of get me here to the Mackenzie Tour. What's really special is what I have in the bag, and what I carry with me every day is I have a coin that my grandfather gave me when I was a little kid, and it's a silver 50-cent piece, and I used to mark my ball every round. I've been using it since probably high school, so this one's really special because it's kind of, reminds me of my grandfather. And then one of the last things that I get ragged about all the time is my big bag of tees. You pick up a couple on the first tee at tournaments and stuff, and then at the end of the round you end up having 4 or 5, and 10 events later you got 500 in a big brown bag. So, that's what I got in my bag. So thanks for watching.
The first tournament of the 2017 Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada season concludes as the final round of the Freedom 55 Financial Open gets underway. But it's one man's tournament to lose.
From Tampa, Florida, Lee McCoy.
Lee McCoy tees off with a 3-stroke advantage and never looks back. Although his playing partner Scott Vincent makes it interesting early with this birdie at the first. But McCoy counters with a birdie of his own.
That was a big putt. He's an incredible player. I knew I had kind of a tall task today with Scott in my group and the Brugge right behind me. Those guys have so much firepower and they're all very accomplished players, and I knew nobody was going to lay down out there.
He cements his position with 2 more birdies on the front side to make the turn with a 4-stroke lead.
It was
such a stress-free day to be in the lead, and I've never just been so relaxed. And I mean, I think the longest par putt I had today was like 3 feet, and I mean, what a perfect day to have that. So it was really easy to actually sit back and be able to enjoy the round.
With none of his chasers mounting a charge, the 23-year-old pulls away on the back nine. He birdies his final 2 holes to reach 20 under par for the week, winning by 8 strokes. The largest margin of victory ever on the Mackenzie Tour and the lowest score in the history of the tournament.
It means a lot, first of all, just to be exempt for the rest of the season. It was really amazing. My goal today was to get to 20, and I did, and that means so much to me. It's certainly one of the most memorable weeks of my life. To play in front of a crowd and with this many good players. I mean, people don't understand how good the players are on this tour.
McCoy is the 4th straight player to earn their first Mackenzie Tour title at the Freedom 55 Financial Open. With the victory, he moves into 1st place on the order of merit. But it's a long season for those playing for the opportunity to move up to the Web.com Tour.
My goal is to simply try to win as much as I possibly can. I'm 1 for 1, I guess. You know, you certainly can't win every week with this many good players, but you know, I'm going to try to win as many times as I can.
The race for the top 5 in the order of merit is just heating up. 4 players are tied for 4th, while American Hunter Stewart played his way into a tie for 2nd alongside his countryman Jordan Niebrugge, both of whom had great debuts in their first starts on the Mackenzie Tour. And Lee McCoy takes the early lead with his win. Next week on This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada, we travel across the bay to Victoria for the Bayview Place Cardtronics Open presented by Times Colonist, where in 2016, Adam Cornelsen took the title in style. We sit down with the BC native as he looks ahead to the upcoming season.
It was a great summer last year for me, but you know, I want to get back to where I was last year and compete and win. It's a long summer out here, and you know, there's so many great players, so you just got to kind of worry about your own game and see where it goes.
We'll see you in Victoria.